How's it going, everybody? Brad here today, and we are back with your European Vanguards, ready to get started in season number 2. After season 1 was a success, we tanked, but the tank went successfully. We didn't end up winning the lottery. We actually got screwed, moved down to 3, but we did pick ourselves up a stud defenseman prospect from Russia. Where is he? Here he is. Korobov. Nikolai Korobov. He's got shutdown, truculence, defensive defenseman. He's a right shot defenseman as well. That is beautiful to see. His defensive category is already great, and he gets a +4 up on the top pairing with Adam Boqvist, who's quickly becoming going to be our number 1 defenseman, period. We went out and signed Oliver Ekman-Larsson in the offseason, as well as a few other players in Tarasenko. We signed Daniel Sprong, and we brought back Victor Arvidsson via a trade at the draft for just a pick that we weren't going to use, and we should be good to go. I mean, honestly, guys, the +5 on the top line here and the +4 on the top defensive pairing here, it makes me excited that those guys are going to have a very good seasons and going to develop for us, and that's the aim, right? Gustafsson developed a little bit, so did Justice Annunen, but we're not looking to win the cup this season. We are looking to take a stride, maybe make some noise, maybe be in a hunt for the playoffs, maybe the wild card here in the Atlantic. We are in a pretty tough division, all things considered, now that there's 9 of us in here. It's not going to be easy, but hopefully with those changes, we are looking good. We got to work on the locker room chemistry. It's at 59%. So hopefully the boys can gel a little bit. I know we're from all over Europe here, but hey, we're all European. We're all in this together. Let's go ahead and see how we do at the start of the season here. I'm pretty excited and I'm optimistic. I want to see us put up some points and some goals, and you know, just be a good team. We don't have to be great. We can be good. So we've made it up about 10 games through the start of the season here. Pretty much everybody in the division is at that mark too. But we are exactly what I wanted us to be. 1 point above 500. If we're a 500 hockey team this year, getting 82 to 85 points, I think that's a great step in the right direction. Our locker room chemistry, by the way, has increased by 15%. So I think it's just, it took a second for everybody to get into the locker room. We had preseason training camp. You know, we all went out for hot dogs and bowling like our Be A Pros love to do. But honestly, things are going well for the way we're looking. Let's take a look at the stats so far for the players. Teuvo Teravainen is killing it. Hoglander on the second line also doing very well, and Kondratiev 10 points in 10 games with 5 goals scored, +6 as well. He has no power play points so far. I wonder if he's not on the first line power play. Capo Kakko, Ivan Barbashev, Vladimir Tarasenko, that is our top 2 lines. They all have 8 points in the first 10 games. So honestly, the goal scoring is kind of being shared across everybody. Tarasenko is not scoring. You know, we brought him in as a sniper. It is Teravainen right now and Kondratiev, the playmaker. And then obviously the Kondratiev is the sniper. He's got such an elite shooting category. And we have found an absolute shooter, guys. He's got 48 shots in 10 games. If he takes 5 shots a game for the entire season, we're looking at a guy that's going to have close to over 400 shots, 410 shots, probably a little bit less in the upper 300s, but that's exactly what you need from one of these guys that's a sniper. You hate to see a sniper that loves to pass because it just doesn't line up with the team building and what you're putting around him and whatnot. He's only shooting 10.4%, so I think he might be able to improve, while I think Teravainen and Barbashev may decrease. Same thing with Capo Kakko, but it's good to see Capo Kakko with 5 goals, 8 points. I mean, he's 23, low elite, 84 overall, two-way forward. Like, if he continues to develop, guys, we're looking really, really good. Then moving down, we've got Sprong, Kotkaniemi, and Niederreiter, which is a massive minus. That's not what you want to see. And then Luotsarainen, Arvidsson, and Prota, it's a minus. So it's basically the top half of the team is good, the bottom half of the team is not good, but that's kind of what I expected, although I did look at this third line to say I thought it was going to be a really good third line and that they could, we'd have depth but not elite talent. Does not look to be the case right now. As far as the defensive core, Chernak is not doing well. Korobov is not doing well either. He may be just in over his head. He's got 7 penalty minutes. He's a -2. He's not putting up points. And Boqvist has 5 points anyway, which is about what we'd expect from him. OEL and Romanov are actually a plus on that middle pairing, and then Brandstrom and Chernak aren't doing well, but Brandstrom does have 3 points. In goal, Justice Annunen is blowing Gustafsson out of the water. He's played 4 games. He's had 3 wins, so he's had to come in relief once. Gustafsson needs to improve, and I think he will. I think it's too early to really, draw too many conclusions from this, but I don't like the fact that Chernak is a -4. Korobov is a -2 with 7 penalty minutes. Does he have a bad giveaway to takeaway ratio? He does. I mean, obviously these guys aren't going to have a great giveaway to takeaway ratio because they're defensemen. Romanov's actually is good, and so is OEL. And that's probably why they're doing so well to start the season. But for now, I think I'm going to leave it as is. I like the +4. He's technically an 82 on the top line, Korobov. But I just don't want to move him down. That's the thing. If I move him down, then all of a sudden we get a +2 there. OEL up, gets us a +2 as well. Chernak gets us a +3, and then we get a -1 down here. We get a -3 otherwise. So I don't really want to do that. I mean, +3 with Chernak and Boqvist would really improve the team, but you know, honestly, this is a developmental year, and I think Korobov moving up to the top line, maybe Chernak comes up. Actually, neither of these guys can. Are they just that bad on the third? They are. They are just that bad on the third pairing. Eric Brandstrom is also terrible on the third pairing. So it really feels like our third pairing is something that we need to sort out and to figure it out because what is it? It's hold the line and cycle, whereas we have a bunch of pinch shoot. Yeah, that's why Chernak fits the third pairing so well. Pinched balance, and then, yeah. So we need hold the line, which is tough to find. The best I can do is balance, but things are going well. I don't really see a need to potentially switch up too much. I mean, we could get a +1 if I flip-flop Hoglander and Sprong, but I mean, Hoglander's got 11 points in 17 minutes. Yes, let's take a look at the power play. We want to make sure that Kondratiev is on the power play with Tarasenko, Teravainen, and Barbashev. Can we get maybe, oh god, Capo Caco or Nils Hoglander? I feel like Nils Hoglander on that top line, and then he won't play center. It will be Kondratiev, and then Boqvist. That's perfect. Power play 2 is Arvidsson, Sprong, Kotkaniemi, Barbashev. Yeah, I'm going to take Arvidsson off of this, and then I think what I want to do is play Brandstrom here. Maybe I want to play Romanov, because Boqvist on the top pairing. I mean, Romanov, he doesn't have the passing, really. I think Brandstrom, maybe. That's Capo Caca. I was going to say OEL here. It's actually pretty good for that. But I do want to give Brandstrom some ice time, so I am going to give him the second line power play quarterbacking duties, and I'm actually satisfied with this. This is pretty good. I think we do have 8 forwards, and it's pretty clear who's on the top one and then who's on the second power play. But let's go ahead, keep going through the season here. Things are going all right. I'm not going to complain just yet. So the boys in the room are starting to gain a little bit of confidence, and we're right about we improved just a little bit, right? We got 27 and 24 now, rather than 1 point above the amount of games played. We're 3 points above the amount of games played. So we picked up, I guess, another win over the last month in this stretch, and honestly, 27 points right now puts us 2 points behind the Capitals, and we're only 3 points behind the Sabres and Red Wings for second and third in the Atlantic. 7 points behind the Bruins is a little bit much to ask at this point, but 4 points behind the Islanders for the first wild card spot. So honestly, guys, this is exactly where I thought we'd be. It's exciting. The team chemistry's gone up a little bit, 75%, and Nils Hoglander is leading the team in points, which is really interesting to see that. Teuvo Teravainen's got 25. Kondratiev has really cooled off. He's not shooting well, which for a guy that has low 90s in his shooting category is really surprising. He is leading the team in shots by a large margin. So I know we were worried about the goal scorer role on the top line. I saw some comments about that, guys. By the way, I love the comments. Keeps us thinking, keeps us engaged here. But Kondratiev seems to be the guy taking the shots. Neither of these guys are shooting the way that they should be, right? Tarasenko's in the high 80s, low 90s, and then Kondratiev is just purely in the low 90s with 89 offensive awareness for both of them. So it's Kondratiev's puck skills that I'd like to see grow, but honestly, if he's going to shoot 112 times in 24 games, again, that's about, I think we're just under 5 a game now, 4 to 5 a game. Like that's perfect. He just needs to be shooting more in the 12%, kind of like what Capo Caco is doing. He's doing really, really well there. I love to see Capo Caco growing. I don't know if he's growing. He's just playing well, and that's exactly what we want out of him. And then, yeah, so you can see our top 6 versus our bottom 6. I mean, I don't really want to mess with the top 6 because it's working so well. I might need to flip something in the bottom 6, like Daniel Sprong has just been woeful. I mean, he's only playing 13 minutes a night. Nino Niederreiter's playing 10. Kotkaniemi's playing 13. He does have a power play point, but Protas playing 9. I mean, man, we must be leaning on these top guys. Kondratiev is playing 21 minutes, 18 for Capo Kako. Tarasenko's at 19. Barbashev's at 18. Teravainen's at 20. Oh, yeah. We've got 2 lines playing top minutes, and then the bottom 2 lines are playing fourth line minutes. We got 2 lines at first, second line minutes, and then the bottom 6 are playing like a bottom 6. So that's okay. As far as points, I think Korobov, he's got his first NHL point. 21 penalty minutes, -7 is not what we want to see, but Romanov and Ekman Larson are playing great together. Brandstrom, Chernak still doesn't have a point 24 games into the season. He is a defensive defenseman. So, I mean, I could probably play him on the top line rather than Korobov and see more success there. But, you know, it is what it is. Gustafsson has definitely improved. He's at a 900, 311, but Justice Annunin's looking really good, so I'm happy with that. So, honestly, guys, let's take a look at the team stats. We are, like I said, 24 games into the season. As far as goals for per game, are we scoring? I feel like we are, yeah. 3.174. 304 against is actually second best in the division, tied for second best in the division. But I guess we just need a little bit more offensively. Our division is crazy strong offensively, so something to consider. Maybe I don't think we're going to buck the trend. I kind of want to play offensively rather than defensively. But honestly, I'm okay with it for now. We're going to go ahead and get up to another month in this one. I kind of want to see where we are, and I think I'm going to cut this season in half. We're going to do the first half now. We're going to get up to January, and then you guys let me know what we need at the trade deadline or what you think we need at the trade deadline. Should we make a trade at the deadline? And if we're in a playoff spot, I mean, honestly, like we don't have our pick, so tanking again I don't think makes sense. So I think we should go for it, but conservatively. We don't have a ton of like assets that are disposable. Maybe getting rid of a guy like Arvidsson again on the fourth line. He's probably got some value. Actually, you know what? Let me make a line change there. I'm gonna switch some things down here. Maybe just Barry Kotkaniemi is just not it. Luotsarainen, I mean, we'll give it a try. We have a pretty scoring fourth line here. Yeah, I think we're okay with this. Nino Niederreiter is lefty, Sprong is righty. We're gonna flip-flop them and see if that makes any difference. Does moving anybody up change this? No, Prota does not change it. Arvidsson does not change it. Okay. And then Luotsarainen off. I mean, it goes up. I think if I put Kotkaniemi there, I think we're going to give Luotsarainen the chance. I don't know, because the top 6 is clearly working, so I don't want to mess with that. Kondratiev is now up 2 overall points, by the way, to an 83 overall. That's exciting. To watch his development is going to be fun. Let's go ahead and just get a bit more through the season, see what's going on, and just kind of make a game plan for the back half of the season. All right, so we've made it to halfway through the season, and we are at 45 points in 41 games. Like I said, it's about where I wanted to be. We're right on track. We're 2 points behind the Capitals for a wild card spot. We can start the crusade if we make the playoffs. It'd be crazy if we could just start marching to the playoffs, but we got to make it there first. We're halfway through the season. We're on pace for 90 points, which would be really, really nice. We need to pick it up a little bit if we are to make the playoffs, and our top goal scorers and whatnot, they've cooled off a bit. We're no longer having anybody at a point per game. Teravainen's now a -5. I don't like to see Kondratiev just not doing too hot. I mean, he's up to an 83. Boqvist is actually having a really, really good season. Teravainen and Barbashev, Hoglander, that's technically our best 3. Barbashev on the second line, he's doing exactly what we want him to, and his contract, guys, remember, $4 million at 4.66, so with another 3 years, it's sub-5 for him, who's going to be our second-line center. He's doing really well. Nils Hoglander's up to an 85 as well. And somebody that we need to give a contract extension to. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Teravainen, obviously is leading the team in points. He's becoming more of a playmaker, but nobody on the top line is scoring. Barbashev has 20 goals. But Tarasenko, I mean, neither of these guys are shooting well. I think it's a matter of time before, they're too talented of shooters. Like, look at Kondratiev. He's even grown in wrist shot accuracy now up to a 94. His offensive awareness up to a 90, right? This is the kind of guy that he will develop and continue to be a great shooter. But him and Tarasenko are ripping pucks. Neither of them are shooting all that well. You know, and 30 points in 40 games is certainly not bad, right? He's on pace for probably 70-ish points for his rookie season. Kondratiev, Tarasenko on pace for 70-ish points here, similar sort of to what he did in Florida, although the shooting or the scoring's not there. His shooting percentage has declined a little bit. Hopefully these guys catch fire in the second half of the season, because if we're going to make a push for the playoffs, these two guys need to start scoring, Kondratiev and Tarasenko. Capo Kakko doing really, really well. Nice to see him. I think he still had an 84. Daniel Sprong, Kotkaniemi, Nino Niederreiter's now an even, so whatever I change down there at the bottom, Victor Arvidsson's a minus 15, so I mean, honestly, he's somebody that 2 years at $3 million, we don't really have a spot for him anymore. It might be time to move on from him. And then looking at the blue line, Boqvist, we saw him. He's got assists galore, 32 points, 41 games played. And the defensive core is looking pretty solid, honestly. Korobov is now up to a 79. You love to see that. He's still a -6, the worst plus minus on the team, but he does have his first career goal, which is awesome. And Chernak has got a point finally. He's got 2 of them, so that's lovely to see. But Romanov and Ekman-Larsson, a solid middle pairing as well. Like, guys, honestly, the team is good. It's solid. It's nothing crazy. Like we don't have a dominant team yet. But for year 2, after the first year we really went in all in to tank, I'm satisfied with the team. And Gustafsson has really started to perform. Remember, it was not too long ago where he had played 8-ish games and had a 890 as his save percentage. So he is doing a lot better for us, and you love to see that. So honestly, I'm content with where the team is at. I may want to move on from Victor Arvidsson just because he might have some trade value, and he's playing on our 4th line. Maybe we can find somebody better for the penalty kill. Again, I don't know. I'm not too concerned about where our special teams are at right now. That I feel like that's a later on kind of thing. But Victor Arvidsson, you can see he's got a little bit of value here, and you could pair him with a guy like Yuri Bobrovsky, and trade them together. You might be able to get a decent third liner, and then we can move, Luotsarainen back to the 4th line with Kotkaniemi and Prota, and it's a decent 4th line, and then we can find a third line center for the team. But taking a look at the expiring contracts, it's what I said we would do. Let's go ahead and look. Boqvist needs a contract extension, and I'm absolutely gonna give it. Holy moly! To give him an 8-year deal, a 6-year deal at like 8.5, I feel like is what I want to do. Maybe I'll try and, oh God, okay. Maybe I'll try and give him 6 years, $8 million at the start of the next episode. Because what do you guys think about this contract? He wants 3 years, because that would immediately make him a UFA, and it's the cheapest he's asking for. So I'd love to get him at $5.5 million for 3 years, but to get another 3, I'd have to add about $2.5 million, which isn't bad. We don't have much money spent on anybody else right now. We're spending about $73.5, but should we get rid of, oh God, Hoglander's playing well too. Oh my. Hoglander definitely deserves like a 6x7, maybe 6x6 he would take. I'd give him 6x6 because he is developing fantastically. At one point this season, he was leading the team in points. He's got a great shooting category for a 2-way forward, and he's a great defensive. He is everything that we are looking for right now. And then in the these are just the guys in the minors. But Romanov is also expiring. So what is he asking for? He's going to ask for like 5x5. I feel like I could do 5x4 for Romanov. 6x6 for Hoglander. That's $10 million between those two guys. And then Boqvist at 6x8, maybe 6x7.5, somewhere in that range. I feel like that's $18 million. I feel like well spent. That's not even a quarter of our salary. I wish I could see the percentages, rest in peace cap friendly, by the way. But Puckpedia and whatnot, you can see the percentages of the cap. It'd be really nice to see, if I could just hit a toggle here, like hit the X button, and it toggles to percentage of cap. That'd be a really nice way to look at it, or to see it blocked off, right? Rather than having to use LT to flip to forwards, flip the defenseman. I wish I could see my NHL guys for forward. Basically, like I wish I could see it like cap friendly. That'd be really cool. But as far as expiring skaters, that's that. And then goaltenders Huey is a medium backup, so no reason to panic there. honestly, guys, I feel like I should be giving these the three guys that need a contract extension have absolutely proved their worth. They're in their prime at their early to mid 20s, right? 25 and 24. They've got plenty of years left where they're going to be solid contributors, potentially cup contributors too, when we're ready to make that push. But Boqvist is developing incredibly well. He is putting up 32 points in 41 games on a team that doesn't really dominate. We're a 500 team. He is looking really good. And Höglander and Romanov, I mean, Höglander more so fits in the Boqvist category. Romanov, I mean, listen, he's been part of our best defensive pairing all season. He's a -1. He's got 9 points. He's never really going to put up points. I mean, his giveaway to takeaway ratio wasn't great, but he blocks shots and he hits. So what more can I ask for from a guy that's an 84? I mean, he's solid. I'm not going to complain about it. I feel like I should bring him back. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Those are my couple moves, is signing all three of the big guys and then moving on from Arvidsson, because I don't know what we could get for him, but I feel like it's going to be better than what he can provide us right now. Let's see. I just want to take a look at the progress reports. Who is developing? That's a big one here. Modified. Daniel Sprong is statistical growth. Okay, so he's grown because of statistics. He's going to drop off, I believe, after this season because he's just not having the same season. Höglander is seeing statistical growth as well, but that's going to continue. OEL is, I think, seeing statistical growth. Yep, but again, he's doing well. Teravainen, Kondratiev, you can see some natural growth. So there you go. You can see it's natural by when it turns green like that. So like Korobov, has got Morale growth. Does have a little bit of natural growth there with the shot blocking and the stick checking. So love to see that from my defensive defenseman. Is he gaining anything offensive awareness? Morale growth, but he's now up to an 80 offensive awareness with the Morale. So hopefully that continues. Let's take a look in the system. How are we doing? Koivu here, the medium top 6 forward, is seeing lots of natural growth mid-season. That's really exciting. He's 64 at 18. As a medium top 6, I'll take that. Jonathan Lekaramaki is seeing some both morale and natural growth, so maybe he's ready to step up next season. Lodin at 25, it's morale growth a little bit. I mean, his face-offs grew naturally. That's not great. Huey is growing. Ustinkov. I'm gonna, I hope he does. Honestly, I hope he makes the NHL, so I have to get it right, but I also hope he doesn't, so I don't have to butcher that every time for you guys. Oh, God. What did I sign up for here? But honestly, there's good development happening. There's good play on the ice. We're right where we want to be. We're on schedule for where we were thinking we should be. And really, guys, I'm excited to get into the next one. Let me know your thoughts about the trade deadline. Do we go out and buy? Do we kind of stand pat? Do we make like a trade for a veteran? Again, obviously they have to be European, but a veteran third line center who's like 82, 83, but he's like 36, right? Somebody to come in and show us how it's done when it comes crunch time. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Actually, before I leave you guys here, I want to see the power play in the penalty kill. I believe our power play should be fine. Goals 4 per game. We need to improve our offense and our defense. Our defense is okay. 305 is second best in the division. Our power play is the worst in the division, but our penalty kill is the best. Okay, so maybe what we need to do is go find some offense, another goal scorer. I feel like we need to find a third line playmaking center that works. Something has to happen with that. I feel like it's the third line because the top line, it's just a matter of those guys getting it right, figuring it out, putting the puck in the back of the net, because 8% is way too low for those ratings. So it actually throws a wrench in what I was thinking about, but all right. That's all the time I have for this one, guys. Make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments section. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say about this one. It's our first real season where we're not trying to be trash, and I think it went well. But also, make sure to subscribe if you guys want to see some more, and I will see you in the next one.
It's a free for all, free for all.